Good evening, teacher. My name is Sebastian Narváez. My homework, the video presentation. Today we are going to talk about the role that language assessment has to improve teaching and learning. This time we will be studying a number of concepts and issues that I believe teachers need to be familiar with in order to understand the role and the use of assessments in the language classroom. We will need to consider different questions like what is language teaching and what is language assessment. I know they both sound similar, but we need to recognize the difference between these two in order to assure that our assessments will be practical to use for our students. How does language assessment differ from language teaching? This is the first question. The main difference between teaching and assessment is in the purpose. The purpose of language teaching is to promote or facilitate learning, also enhance learners' linguistic, cognitive, emotional, and social development, while language assessment is aimed to collect samples of students' performance. The second question, why does language assessment allow to improve teaching and learning? When you use language assessment, you present your students with tasks that require them to use the language. As we know, language assessment purpose is to collect information about the students' language ability, so we can know how much they have learned. It is important to think of language assessment as a process because giving a language assessment to students is the first step in a larger process of using the results of an assessment to arrive at interpretations about a student's language ability. And we can use these interpretations to make decisions. We have two kinds of decisions. So they can be formative decisions. The formative decisions can lead to activities intended to improve instruction and learning. Or we can have summative decisions. These summative decisions make sure that the students who advance to the next levels are prepared and make sure that certified students have actually achieved that level. Why do we use language assessment? This is the third question. As we already said, the primary purpose of using a language assessment is to collect samples of students' language performance that we can interpret as indicators of their language ability. This will help us to make decisions. We already talked about that. The decisions can be formative or summative, and also check the teacher's efficiency. As we know, when we assess our students, we can recognize if the teacher is doing a good job as well. Because if we check our students' performance, this can lead to beneficial consequences for stakeholders. This information will help you improve your teaching and help your students improve their learning as well, as we said. What evidence do we need to collect during the assessment? This is the fourth and the last question. I believe that as teachers we use this information from a student's performance on the language assessment task to add a language assessment record. Such as verbal description, prior knowledge, a score, written works, attendance, information from previous schools, a grade, a mark, all the information that we can have about the students that is based on his or her performance. The information we have obtained in this is the student's assessment performance, and the outcome is the assessment record. That's everything, and here you can have the references, and that's everything. Thank you very much.